Man, The Acolyte was a show that had an interesting story concept. I just don't think they executed it all that well. At least that's my opinion. And it's much like the prequels for me, where there is an interesting story right there in the prequels, but George Lucas didn't really execute it all that well. Actually, I thought he executed it pretty poorly, at least for the first two, or episodes 1 and 2. But yeah, The Acolyte, I wouldn't say it was a bad show. I don't think it was a bad show at all. There were some good elements to it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just disappointing me. It's just disappointing because I feel like this show could have been a whole lot better, in my opinion. It's just a show that didn't really grab me at all. And I can even say that back in the trailers, when the trailers came out, that the trailers didn't really grab me. But I was hopeful that the show would grab me, but it didn't really. It didn't really like get that much of my attention, except for episode 5, which is the last episode I reviewed on this channel. And the last two episodes, episodes 6 and 7, I just didn't really care enough to really review it. They weren't really bad to me, but they didn't really step it up as far as the storytelling went with those episodes. So yeah, overall, it was just okay. I think the whole series was just okay. Episode 7, we saw the other flashback go on, and we saw that the whole issue between May wanting to go after these Jedi was just a misunderstanding with Soul killing Mother Anastasia, I think that's her name, played by Jodie Turner-Smith, where she's just turning into the smoke monster or something like that. Something to do with their witchcraft, their force witchcraft. But it was just a misunderstanding. She was gonna do something else, like to save them or whatever. But then Soul was like stabby with his lightsaber. And I just thought that being the reason was pretty disappointing. Because it was just a misunderstanding, and that's what we were building up to. Like, I don't think I would have a gripe with it if it happened earlier in the season, or let's say this flashback episode was merged with the other flashback episode, like episode 3, I think. Yeah, it was episode 3. In fact, I think they should have been merged. I think this should have been all together, and we shouldn't need another flashback. But yeah, if it was like there, or if it played out in real time, because I can compare this to House of the Dragon, where in that show we do see some misunderstandings or like F-ups in that show, but it plays out in real time. So you're not really building up to it that much. You're really just seeing it as we go along. So I don't find that disappointing, but it's just building this up. Seeing that this is the reason that May is going after the Jedi. And of course she didn't see him kill his mother or kill her mother. But yeah, just that happening and the Jedi covering it up. And yeah, Soul in the last episode, I kind of felt bad for Soul in that last episode. Yeah, he gets choked out by Osha in the final episode, which, yeah, kind of felt heartbreaking because I don't think Soul was, like, he's not a bad guy. Soul did have good intentions. He just went about it in shady ways. Even though he didn't think they were shady, he kind of felt that he was doing the right thing. But, yeah, it was definitely pretty shady. Just, like, sneaking up in the castle where the witches were. I will say once again, though, that Lee Jung-jae was fantastic with his acting in this show. So, yeah, he was great. And man, those teases, the teases in the finale, some of them I kind of have a problem with because I feel like with seeing Yoda, the back of his head, and seeing other people pop up like David Harewood, it seemed like he was a guy in the Senate that was skeptical of the Jedi. And I just thought it would have been more interesting to see this character in the show earlier because, yeah, we could have saw some politics that we saw in this final episode. Yeah, he's a good actor, but yeah, I wanted to see more of him because yeah, it could have added to the story and it could have added to the character we saw in this. Was it the green girl? What's her name? Well, I forget her name. Vernestra. I don't care about this character at all. Like we saw her in this episode, and we find out, or it alludes really well to her being the former master of Chimere because she senses them. And I thought she was gonna they were gonna come across each other and they were potentially gonna fight, but we never saw it. They just teased it. So yeah, it was like she was like the master that slashed his back up because it was curved, and she's got that whip lightsaber, which I honestly think is actually kind of cool. But the character of Vernestra, I just didn't really care about. She felt one note to me. So yeah, they teased her potentially having a bigger role next season. In the back of the head of Yoda, I think we could have seen more of Yoda this season. They didn't have Frank Oz back, probably voicing him, but I bring him in. He can have someone else do the voice of him or whatever. I'm sure they could have brought Frank Oz back if they wanted to have Yoda. It was just a decision that they didn't want to have Yoda, but he should have been there. He didn't need to be in the show too much, but I would have liked to see him pop up a couple times in the show, because yeah, he would have sensed stuff. He would have sensed stuff going on with the Jedi. So yeah, but yeah, I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him in the show. But man, Darth Plagueis the Wise peeking out of that cave, seeing a glimpse of him, and I was unsure it was him. Like, I knew it was the same creature that he is, but yeah, I was thinking, okay, is that him? Is that him? But yeah, it was him. It was him, Darth Plagueis. At least I got it confirmed online that it was him. But man, yeah, seeing him, that was crazy. And I don't have a problem with them teasing him, because I feel like you probably didn't need a character like him in the first season of this show. But I guess if they're going to have a season 2 of the Acolyte, yeah, you could very well bring him in here with him, like, with being with Chimera and all that. And I don't know if he's even with Chimera, because he's on that planet. It just seems like he's just hiding out there, and he hasn't even been seen by Chimera or May on that planet. So yeah, but that was a really cool reveal. But yeah, a couple of these teases in the finale could have been utilized throughout the season to make it better. Like, Yoda could have popped up a couple of times, as I said, and then David Harewood as the senator, or this like guy in the Senate. Yeah, he could have been used. He could have been used throughout the season to make it, like, make the Jedi and then politics and all that with the Senate, make it more interesting. I guess I hope there's a season 2, because with these teases, it could make it for an interesting season 2. Just wish it could have been used for this season. And also, I didn't really care for the twins, May and Osha. I mean, they're not twins, but you know. But yeah, I just didn't really care for them that much. But I did find it interesting that like they ended up on opposite sides from where they started. Like, May is now gonna be a Jedi, it seems like, with her memory wiped, and now Osha is gonna be under the wing of Chimera. That is sort of interesting. I just didn't really care for either one's story for this season. And yeah, I don't know. There's so many more interesting characters that could have been utilized, like Jackie. And of course, like, Jackie getting killed off in episode 5, I thought it was pretty bold. But I just thought with her, maybe like her and Soul, we could have explored more of their relationship, with like her being the Padawan of Soul. And maybe utilize Yord more, even though I didn't really care for Yord that much either. But yeah, you could have utilized them more. And even Carrie-Anne Moss as Endara, they could have used more of her in this season. Even with the flashbacks, we didn't really get to see much of her. So yeah, we could have used her more in this story. And yeah, maybe not kill her off as fast as we did in the present time in this show. Because yeah, very first scene, 5 minutes in, she was gone. And even the Wookiee Jedi, Kelnaka, like, he was cool too. His fight scene where he gets possessed by the witches, I thought it was pretty cool. Him fighting Soul and Torben. And Torben could have been used more too, with the actor that played Tommen in Game of Thrones playing him. So yeah, so those characters I just felt were underutilized, except for Soul, because he was definitely one of the main Jedis in this show. But ending on a positive, I think the fight scenes were some of the best stuff in this show. It might be the best stuff in this show, because yeah, the fight scenes were great, especially in episode 5, and even this episode, and even the episode 4, episode 7, which I mentioned, where Kelnaka got possessed. But yeah, in this finale, we saw Soul fight against Chimera. I mean, they fought in episode 5 also, but yeah, them fighting the finale I thought was pretty cool. And just see Asian representation with that fight with Lee Jung-jae and Manny Jacinto, I think it's pretty cool too, seeing that sort of representation. And yeah, Manny Jacinto was great also. He might be the second best for me to Lee Jung-jae in this show, because yeah, I thought he was great as his villain Chimera. And yeah, he did a pretty good job playing him. He definitely feels like a layered character that you can kind of feel for. So yeah, that's what I like about the character, and that's what I like about his performance. So I would give the Acolyte season 1, if there are more seasons to this show, a 6.5 out of 10. It's okay. It's okay. That is my opinion on the Acolyte season 1 finale and the season as a whole. Give me your thoughts on the season. Did you really like this show, or did you really dislike it, or are you someone that is in the middle like me? So yeah, tell me down below, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Rebel out.